Hello, I am Victoria Seed and I am coming to you live today from the Vesta Approach in Manchester, UK. I help families who are affected by a loved one's drug use, alcohol use, and if you need help with it, gambling as well. So I've been doing this work for, I think it's just under 2 decades. I do know what I'm talking about here. And, I've worked with a lot of people who are waiting and waiting and waiting for a loved one to change, trying all sorts of strategies, but nothing consistently and nothing changes. And I put a post on my social media the other day to say, my clients, and I do measure this, usually on average wait between 2 and 15 years, 2 and 12 years, but some up to 15, to get the help themselves. And today I am going to be talking to you on this live about the 5 reasons why you need to stop waiting for your loved one to change. There are plenty of things you can do. If somebody says to you, you've got to wait for somebody to be ready to change, yeah, that is true, but there are a lot of things that you can do and that are within your power and control. I'm going to talk to you about some of these things today. So if you're watching, please feel free to comment. Some people don't feel comfortable commenting, so please feel free to drop me a DM on any of my socials. I'm going to get right to it. So the first reason why I want you to stop waiting for your loved one to change is because you've waited long enough. That statistic that I have, that people are waiting years and years of their lives, is often down to the fact that, a loved one will promise to change and they don't, and they do and they don't. And then when the going's good, nobody says anything. Everyone's walking on eggshells, waiting for the behaviour to revert back to the use of drugs or alcohol, or whatever other addiction it is. They might think, oh, well, they're not as bad as, this person with a brown paper bag sat on a park bench, which is often our vision of what an addicted person looks like. My advice to you is because you're waiting, nothing's changing, and the strategy is really unlikely to work. So think about how long you've been waiting up to now, and think about the number of years you possibly could be waiting. Because if you're putting all of the emphasis on your loved one changing, without doing anything yourself, and I am absolutely not blaming you for this, by the way, but you could be waiting a very long time, and that's a lot of years from your life where you could be living a better life. And that's what I'm all about. My work doesn't guarantee that your loved one's going to change, but it does mean that you can have a better life. So number 2, waiting is not taking action. So you'll know, through other areas of your life, through work, if you've ever had any coaching or anything like that, taking action and focusing on things that you can do make you feel better. They do provide you with an element of control that does make us feel good. It feels like everything isn't totally out of focus and out of reach. So if we can take action on the things that are controllable for us as affected family members, then that is just going to make you feel better. You just need to know what to do. So when was the last time you took action? When was the last time you took action? And when was the last time that you had a strategy that worked? Because this is what we look at in my work. Every person and every situation is different, but you've got to pick out what's working and what isn't. So think about what's worked and do more of that, okay? But you've got to take action. You've got to work on your loved one's recovery kind of as much as, or at least some of the time that you're expecting your loved one to do it, or nothing is likely to change. Okay, number 3, you are giving your control away. So you can't control your loved one. So waiting for your loved one to change is not going to have any impact whatsoever. Okay? Being passive isn't going to do anything. Crossing your fingers and hoping for the best when the going's good isn't really going to have any impact. If you're passive, then your needs are not met, but your loved one needs around their substance use are being met. Okay? And it will carry on. And if you want to have that control in your life where, you know, you're taking that control of you back, of what you want your life to be like, then that's the sort of thing I can help with. You know, if you're living your life depending on what your loved one does, and you know, whether they're going to use their substance that day, whether they're going to ruin your plan for that day, whether your children are going to be upset that day, you're giving the control to somebody else of what you can be in control of. And if you're going to be in relationship with somebody that is using drugs and alcohol, then there's a real balance between being helpful and supporting them, but also helping yourself. And it's not easy, but, you know, services like mine can help with that. And I don't want that for you, where you're just giving your control away to the substance. Okay? So number 4, it could be making it easier for your loved one to carry on if your strategy is to wait for your loved one to change. So, you know, being passive, having no clear and consistent boundaries, kicking off when the going gets tough, and then crossing your fingers and hoping for the best when things are okay. It's an unhealthy approach and an unhealthy cycle for you and your family to be in. What if there was another way? Because if you think about it, the way things are at the moment, if you're taking this approach where you kind of waiting, even if you might have these spurts of, right, I'm going to take action, I'm going to try and control the situation, I'm going to throw drugs away, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Quite a lot of those strategies are actually going to make it easier for your loved one to continue using the substance. So being passive makes it easier, and being aggressive and aggressively tackling the substance makes it easier, because those strategies cause conflict between you and your loved one, and conflict provides an excuse for your loved one to continue with the substance use. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so number 5, it's stopping you from living your life. And this is possibly one of the most important points. How long are you willing to wait for your loved one to change? How long has it affected you for so far? You know, stop thinking about whether your loved one's an addict or not, you know, whether other people are that bad, whether, you know, we stopped or that she stopped or they've stopped for like a year before they can do it again. I'm going to just see what happens, because that's wasting your life with the stress and the anxiety that you are going through. So maybe now it makes sense for you to reach out and get help, because when I work with families, they are literally at the end of the tether. And I want to get to work with families that are at this towards the beginning of this journey, as well as at that breaking point, you know. And it might be that you want help for you to live a better life. And I've worked with plenty of people that want to focus on themselves. It might be that you want to focus on getting your loved one to accept the help they need. You know, it might be a focus on ending your relationship with your loved one amicably, but getting, you know, making sure they're looked after. It could be a mixture of all those things. So whatever it is, you know, get in touch. If you've got a young person that's using substances, you know, I can help with that as well. I've spent a lot of my career and my work working in young people's services. So let's just recap then. 5 reasons why you need to stop waiting for your loved one to change. 1, because you've waited long enough. 2, because waiting is not the same as taking action. 3, you're giving your control away. 4, it's making it easier for your loved one to carry on. And 5, it's stopping you from living your life. So just to finish, if you want my top 10 tips for family recovery, head over to vestaapproach.co.uk/freebie. you will get my 10 ways to family recovery, my top 10 tips for you in your inbox. And, you know, with a handy checklist, with really great services who can help you if as well. So yeah, get in touch, drop me a DM. I'm here to help you. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.